highlighting the case of Femi Olaleye, the managing director of Optimal Cancer Care Foundation, who was sentenced to life imprisonment on Tuesday for raping his wife's niece. For over 20 months, Dr. Olaleye was convicted on a 2-count charge of defilement of a child and sexual assault by penetration. The defense counsel had claimed that the survivor was tutored by the defendant's wife to lie against the defendant as part of the scheme to take over his property. The judge ruled that the prosecution was able to prove its case beyond reasonable doubt and ordered that the doctor be confined to prison for a long period of time to convey that the justice system frowns on sexual violence and recommended that the doctor's name be added to the Lagos State Sex Offenders Register. What would I say? This thing has been going on for a while. Justice at last. Before I come to you, Ayo, in the same vein, the judge of the Rivers State High Court, Eberechi Wike, on Tuesday, advocated for the amputation of people found guilty of defiling minors. Justice Wike, who is the wife of the immediate past governor of Rivers State and minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, made the comments on the sidelines of the Second National Conference of Family Court Judges, Magistrates, and other family court practitioners in Port Harcourt, the Rivers State capital. Judge Wike insisted that the current punishment isn't drastic enough, adding that the move will deter sexual offenders from molesting minors. I mean, this is not the first time we've heard of this type of advocacy. I've heard some governors' wives advocate for the castration of rapists. I don't know what your thoughts are on that, but also would like for you to tie it in with the first story and the fact that, you know, the doctor's name will now be added to the Lagos State Register for Sex Offenders.
Yes, okay, thank you very much. I think this story is a welcome development.
Yes.
And I must say that at this point, we've come a very long way in Nigeria with regards to rape cases. I must give kudos, especially in Lagos State, to the Domestic Sexual Violence Agency. It used to be DSVRT, headed by Titi Lola Rhodes Vival Adeni. I say that because this case was actually the first time Dr. Femi Olaleye was arraigned in court was November 2022. And so it's taken less than a year to arrive at a decision. And I think that is remarkable. Yes. We often talk about justice delayed, is justice denied. In this case, it was swift. We followed the proceedings, and he was given the maximum sentence. Now, according to the criminal code in section 358, the punishment for rape is liable, or definition of rape was clarified, and it provides imprisonment for life. And this goes to the argument of some people who say that perhaps this penalty was a bit too stiff and why was it given? That is actually what's prescribed. Rape is a felony and it is punishable with imprisonment up to life. And this is what Justice Rahman Oshodi gave to him. Someone else whom we must also acknowledge in this proceedings is the public prosecutor in Lagos State. They took on this case. They did their investigation such that in the ruling of the judge, and he was praised for giving very detailed, over an hour in terms of the reading of the judgment, as to the justification for his sentencing and why it was without doubt that Dr. Femi Olaleye was found guilty of these crimes. I think it's also important to note a lesson from this, is that the reason why this really came to light was that his wife was the one who brought this news out. And she was castigated. She was, had his family members. There was a voice note of his family members, his mother and his sisters, who had placed curses on her for doing this, putting shame on the family. But the real person who brought shame to the family is Dr. Olaleye for defiling a 15-year-old girl who was put under his care and whom he was meant to be a father figure to. And he abused her trust, abused the trust of his wife, and abused the trust of the people who trusted in him. So I really want to say thank you to the Lagos State judiciary system and to the DSVA, Domestic Sexual Violence Agency, and the governor of Lagos State, I must say, because he has empowered that agency such that we are able to see high profile in some cases where we've seen justice. Remember the case of the Chrisland teacher as well, also got to a conclusion. He was sentenced as well. He's serving his time. I think it is brilliant, and we must continue on this trajectory so that girls and boys can feel safe. By the way, the criminal code doesn't recognize rape with boys or marital rape. So that also has to be looked into. Yes, because boys, and there's also marital rape. So kudos, great job so far.
Did I miss the point that you made about castration of rapists?
Oh, okay, castration. Oh gosh, when I saw that, I was like, maybe I want to say that his wife is, you know, when they're married, you know, Governor Wikes. So I would find her court quite interesting. I'm not sure about castration, because there's no one who is not redeemable. But I believe that the stiff penalty of life imprisonment is good enough for rapists.
A lot of people have, said that is a bit barbaric. I mean, that's some people have said that.